Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think we're still on the same times as we have been previously. I think it is the UK that switches over to um, standard time first, and then it is, I think Canada is next. Canada, US, for the places that are still doing the time change. Um, we're actually an MP or somebody in government here in Canada who's trying to put forward to um, switch permanently to daylight savings time. And to me, that doesn't make sense because basically, it'll mean that the birds will start chirping at roughly 2:33 in the morning during the summertime months, and no bueno. And B, it'll mean basically the end of summertime outdoor evening sports. So, the whole like go play soccer or baseball after work concept, um, shift the daylight time back an hour and or forward an hour, however you want to call it. And it's not going to be light enough out for even like soccer is an hour and 45 minutes roughly, assuming you have 15 minutes between the first and second half. Baseball could be hours, I don't know. But for sure, those are two outdoor sports that would be greatly impacted. So for me, I don't need to do this time change business, but keep it on daylight savings time is, in my world, the perfect solution. Anyways, random topic right off the top. I have a question for you guys. So what happened there? Oh, I don't know, clicked on something and I was getting something totally different. Okay, a question for you is vacation countdown. Who has vacation coming up? Let's do sunglasses emoji if you are currently on vacation, and shout out to Howard, who is at Planet Hollywood. I think you're there right now in Costa Rica, sunny Costa Rica. And also shout out to John, who is just arrived a couple of days ago to Dreams Riviera Cancun. Hope you guys are having a great time on vacation. And please, for everyone who's watching's sake, please have a mango margarita for us. Gotta get into that vacation spirit. So let's do a smiley face if you have a trip that you are departing on in the next month or so. So what's that in November? Angelo, excuse me, I know you're coming up in a couple of weeks, heading down to Puerto Vallarta. I was actually supposed to be leaving tomorrow for Cancun to go to Secrets Mirabel for the big opening. And well, we still don't really know exactly what's happening with that. So I have shuffled that about a month forward, given it a push to make sure that whilst I'm there, it is open. Hopefully no further delays. And little sad face emoji if you don't have anything planned. And if you don't have anything planned, get on it. Good morning, Tammy. Tammy says nothing more for this year. Next year, though. Excellent. Oh, like a little cruise, maybe? All right. So yeah, comments down below if you, oops, where do we go? Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Yeah, emoji down below if you've got any trips planned, and if so, if you're on a trip right now, let us know. Howard and John, let us know what you think of the resort and how's the weather. I know there's a potential storm system. It's difficult to say which way it's going to go. Could go north, could flip and go west towards Cancun. They're thinking, though, that the winds over Cancun have been on the cooler side. So again, they're thinking it's that El Nino, La Nina effect, where no, El Nino, where it's gonna the warm air hits the cold air and it causes the storm to either dissipate or lessen or change track. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? Louise, hello. Margarita for me. Awesome. Well done. Secrets Royal Punta Cana. Very, very nice. The beaches there are so beautiful. I mean, the beaches in anywhere in the Caribbean are, wow. But Punta Cana, especially, I'd sort of forgotten. And I really like in Punta Cana how sort of spread out the resorts are and how spacious everything is. It's not like, something like the Cancun hotel zone hotels where everything's like compact and on top of each other. Thanks for joining us today. All right, so we've got a lot of topics. If I can find them, there we go. So we got a lot of topics to cover off today, including some interesting ones. So let's just jump right in. I do have a couple of random topics as well, but we'll get to those. So first off, park prices are going up. This was an article that I read a couple of days ago, and it's and I'm just as guilty of it, where sometimes the headlines make you go, that could be interesting. I should look at that. I mean, like, what's the thing? No brilliant story ever started with a salad. Right? Or wine, because no great story ever started with a salad. It's kind of true. I mean, and it's the same as, like watching the news. You don't see news stories, headline news stories. Nothing happened today. Everyone was happy. They all got along. That's not selling newspapers. Not anybody buys newspapers anymore, but you know what I'm saying. Angelo, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, where you are. Yeah, y'all know me. I'm going to change this format. I don't like how it's cutting off half my body. Chatting amongst yourselves. Excellent. Okay, let me just go back into design, and we're going to change that. We'll go to that one. I think that's a bit better. Let me just flip this back. Yeah, I like that better. Let me know as long as you can still read that. Okay. And Angelo, yes, you've got vacation coming up soon. Exciting. She was just saying she's heading there next week. So Louise, Angelo, we'd be happy to know Louise has agreed to have a margarita for all of us. I don't know if that's going to be one big, massive glass for all of us, because, we all need our portions, or if she's going to have several. So we'll see. But fun, good stuff, good times. All right. So, park prices going up. So again, this is a bit of a headline, a bit of a fake news. I don't know, not fake news, because it is really actually happening, but it's a bit misleading. So the Cancun Sun was reporting that what the Mexican government has done is they have decided to increase some of the rates for entry to, they've broken down the national parks and the archaeological sites into different tiers. So tier 1 would be places like Tulum and Coba. They didn't mention Chichen Itza, but I presume that would be also in there. And in order to basically cover off costs and maintenance and all that good stuff, they have said that they're going to increase the rates. In fact, they're saying that they're going to double the rates. And the Cancun Sun is reporting, quote unquote, a family of four visiting just 2 of these top-tier ruins will now need to budget nearly $100 for entrance fees alone. Let's break that down. So the current cost is 100 Mexican pesos, which is roughly $6. So it's not currently breaking the bank. Yes, this is set to go up to 209 pesos, which is about $11.50, $12. This is American pricing. So it's set to go up to about $12 as of January 1st, $12. So let's just round that up. We'll call that $6 increase, $6. And as the Cancun Sun was reporting, a family of 4. So 6 times 4, we all know, and if we're not sure, we can use our calculator on our handy phone and get that is $24. And if you decide to go to 2 parks, you would multiply 24 times 2. So you can see where the Cancun Sun is getting $100. I mean, or like 48 for those of us who can do math or are able to use a calculator. So yes, it's going up. Yes, but I mean, like, if that's how close to the edge people are living, maybe a vacation is a bit of a stretch and something that should go on hold until they've saved up a little bit more money. I don't know. Call me crazy. Do you agree or disagree? On the positive side, the Mexican nationals and residents, their prices are increasing, but they're going from 100 pesos to 105. So it's a nominal increase. This does go into effect January 1st of 2026. And even the Mayan Museum in Cancun is going to be increasing, not quite double, but similarly priced. So, it'll be, it's worth noting. It's worth noting, right? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Louise is saying, I'm going to go back here. So she's heading there on the 29th. And Angelo's saying, yeah, fishbowl size margaritas, party size. Oh, good on you, Louise. Gonna ask for a big, huge glass. Excellent. And how long are you going? Okay, right. These are standard questions. Like Louise, looks like you're going for a week. Nice. For me, that would not be enough. I mean, it takes. At one point, we did have direct nonstop flights from Western Canada, but that was a very shortened window back when Air Transat used to service all of Canada. Now they basically just service Toronto. And so, with Air Canada or WestJet, we would have to do a connector. So it means basically like 10, 11 hours flying time. Pretty yuck. No, more than that. So, yeah. So to get me to Punta Cana, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going for 2 weeks for sure. 10 days at least, but no, probably not even that. Probably more like 2 weeks for sure. But that's just me. So that's the heads up on the costs on that. So, I mean, again, are the tour operators probably going to do more of an increase than, adding $6 onto the price? Probably. I mean, that's just building in their cost. But, this is not critical. So if you see the big headline news stories, just know, whatever. All right, moving on. This was another crazy one. So activists are demanding dolphin sanctuaries. So we've come around circle on this one, where they didn't want any dolphins in captivity. And now we're back to that's what they do want. Miso soup. Love it. So here's the backstory. So at the Barceló Riviera Maya, Barceló any of the Barcelos, the Barcelo Coba, the Barcelo Grand, I think is the main one. At that resort, it's a large resort. It's like 5 resorts co-located, so it covers, like, the beach is probably from the farthest resort to the main building, the Barcelo Palace, is probably over a mile. And so, you've got every little bit of different kinds of beach, where some bits are so rocky and sharp, pebbles that, or like shells, I guess would be a better way to explain it, that you really need to wear shoes. And there's other areas where it's softer. But at that resort, they have a dolphin enclosure. And if it's the tank that I saw, which was probably, I want to say 8 years ago that I stayed there. If it's the same tank, that one was tiny. And I don't have particularly strong thoughts on the whole dolphin thing. I think if it's run well, then I'm okay with it. But unfortunately, there was an incident. There was a video that went viral where the dolphin was doing. The dolphin's name is Mincho. Mincho. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. He's doing a trick and crashed into the concrete. And also, there was some, like, potentially it was a bacterial infection from the water or something, where the dolphin almost went blind. So they got fined like 7.5 million pesos. The operator, the dolphin company, was fined 7.5 million pesos, which is roughly 400,000 American dollars. And since then, you guys have all heard, like, as of 2025, the dolphin programs are no longer allowed. Huge fines for operating anything like this. And the dolphins now, if they're held in captivity, they must be held in sea pens, or like at Dreams Playa Maharis, where they've got an enclosure that's actually out in the ocean. So it protects them from predators, but at least it's a larger area for them to swim, and they're still in their native seawater, as opposed to like some kind of clear blue pool or something. And they also have very strict welfare standards. But it is because of these situations where there's this cry for proper dolphin sanctuaries now. So they're not going backwards and going back to the whole interactive shows and stuff like that. They are allowed to have the dolphins in captivity for the purposes of marine research, and also or mammal research, I guess it would be, as well as for observation. And also to protect them, like if they've been injured and they're brought into captivity, they cannot be re-released to the wild, because they apparently very quickly lose those instincts. So, or so I'm told. I'm not a marine biologist, so this is just what people are telling me. So they have to keep them in captivity, but certainly compared to some of the enclosures I've seen, they must have them with very restrictive conditions. So I think that's good. Louise is saying the Maya Riviera is the new adult only. I'm confused on that comment. Hello, Jane. Hello, good morning. Oh, it's not showing the hand. Well, it's showing it on my iPad, but it's not showing it on here. But just waving a pink hand. So hello back. All right, moving on. Okay, so next topic. Oh yeah, so this is an interesting one. I don't know what precipitated this, or how long in the works this has been, or why. But Alberta AAA stakes, there's been a deal that's been negotiated for Alberta to ship their Alberta beef steaks they're coming soon to a Mexican Costco near you. Well, I don't know how near you are to any Mexican Costco. I'm about like 4 hour 4 hour flight away. Although I have some close to me. But yeah, so basically this deal's confirmed. They're going to ship 20,000 tons, and this is going to all 41 Costco stores in Mexico. So if you are partial to Alberta AAA beef steaks, and you are going down to Mexico and you're staying in a condo or something, self catering unit, you will be able to get Alberta beef. And on that note, I wanted to ask, and I don't have a little thing on the side, but yes, this is another. I keep doing that in the wrong one. Off topic. Wagyu beef. Show of hands, who has tried Wagyu beef? And to that end, thumbs up if you enjoy it, thumbs down if you think it's not worth the hype. Personally, I would be, yes, I've had it, and no, I didn't think it was worth the hype. I don't like the texture of it. So for me, like if a restaurant says, you go to some resort in Mexico and they're like, yeah, we have Wagyu steak, or even on a cruise ship, and they're like, yeah, we have Wagyu steak or Wagyu beef burgers. First of all, Wagyu beef burgers, I mean, the whole thing with Wagyu beef is that it's supposed to be, well, it is significantly more tender because it's what do they say? Not riddled with fat, but marbled, marbled with fat. So the beef is more juicy. Fat means flavor, but to me, I don't like the texture because it's too soft, in my opinion. I prefer something that's got a bit of a bite. And if I'm going to go like full on like foodie talk, because I like watching Guga Foods and Sous Vide, and also what's the other one? Oh, Sam the Cooking Guy, Joshua Weissman. I could go on. Babish, love all of those cooking shows, cooking YouTube channels. And so again, if I'm going to go all in foodie, I would say I don't like the mouthfeel. It's too soft. It doesn't have any kind of texture. It doesn't have a bite. But that's just me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So what do we have here? So Angelo is saying yes. Okay. Jane is saying tried it. Definitely not worth the hype. Oh, or the cost. Yeah. Yeah. And exactly. Totally agree. It's got no chew to it. It's like you don't really need to chew it. And I don't know, maybe if I was brought up on like 5-star, 6-star cuts of meat or something, I would be appreciative of it. But it's just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea at all. But yeah, let me know if you've, and also, really like grain fed, kind of same. Although I will say, the first time that one of the best steaks that I ever had, sort of looking at my lifelong timeline, the first time I went to South Africa, and we started off in Namibia, and we actually drove from Windhoek down to Cape Town. That was an experience and a journey, and that's a whole other story. But anyways, and we went out for dinner one night and had steaks, and food in South Africa is cheap as chips. And part of that is just economies of scale. Their currency it's about the same as the peso. So the hotels are exorbitant, but eating out it can be very inexpensive. I mean, if you're going to eat at the 5-star hotel restaurant, yeah. But there's other places you can eat where you're getting grass-fed, tenderized beef, and it's like fillets, and you can feed a family of 4 for McDonald's prices here. But yeah, that was pretty good. Oh, Jane, yeah, born and raised in Alberta, my beef. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I was born in Alberta, but I agree. I just don't like the texture of it. So, anyways, that's just my 2 cents. Anyways, I digress. Back to the schedule. All right. Okay, also good news if you are staying in a condo or self-catering unit, Airbnb in the Playa del Carmen region. It used to be you'd have to, well, you could go to Sam's Club, although I don't know how easy it is to get a membership. But or there's Walmart, and actually Walmart does carry some good steaks. But if you wanted other supplies and stuff like that, sometimes Costco is just the tried and true. I mean, you gotta know your prices, right? Like laundry pods, they're cheaper at Superstore or Walmart than they are at Costco. But for some other things like toilet paper, you're not gonna buy toilet paper anywhere else and get like the roll that you get at Costco is like massive. It's a weird topic day today, huh? No, yeah, it's a Wednesday. Something new every week you get with me. But yeah, so anyways, there's a new Costco opening up in Playa del Carmen. I don't know exactly when it's opening, but they have announced like 4 different locations. I think they said there's another one going in to Guadalajara, which already has one, as well as Mexico City. So yeah, there's going to be more available. But for now, yeah, otherwise you would have to go up to Cancun. And I mean, that's a hike, especially if you're staying somewhere down like by Tulum, to then have to drive all the way back to Cancun. I mean, in traffic, you're talking 2 hours, easy. So it'll be nice for them to have something a little bit closer. I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to open. They haven't officially set any dates, but they have confirmed that there is going to be one there. So good news. Racing along today, on to our next topic. I'm going to do a full video on this particular thing, just because it's quite interesting. But the gist is, Holland America has just announced a anniversary cruise. So it's the 100th anniversary of Pan American Airlines, and I cannot recall if that was the airline that Leo DiCaprio in the movie Catch Me If You Can, if that was one of the airlines where he was faking out being a pilot. I want to say it was like Continental or American Airways, or maybe even United. But for some reason, Pan Am is in my head. I don't know if that's correct or not. But anyways, they have announced this cruise. It's 20. Where's my notes? It's 28 days, departing on October 30th of 2027. Interestingly enough, so you get on board and you have your sail away. That's great. You sort of get settled in, and then the very next day you've got Halloween, and they're going to have a party on board. I mean, Holland America not traditionally, but typically has an older crowd, and on a longer cruise than 1 week, you are going to see the general age is probably going to be slightly older, but I mean, there's still going to be younger people who are just looking forward to doing this cruise or really like the itinerary, and the itinerary is pretty cool. So let me just get the picture of it for you. Oh, and Angela was saying, oh, so okay, so you're saying it was Pan Am that they did the movie where he was faking being a pilot. Quite interesting. Okay. So if I go here, I'm going to show you what the itinerary looks like. So starting off in Miami and then heading down to Nassau and then Half Moon Cay, that's their private island, then over to Jamaica, Ocho Rios, Santo Domingo, which is Dominican Republic, and then St. Thomas. And I should say, so Lindsay, if you are watching, St. Thomas is where I got this. Thank you. You're always very complimentary about my necklace. And several other of you have commented about my my necklace, my charm before. It's not real diamonds. So I like it because it's great for vacation, although it does look blingy. Probably not the smartest thing to wear. Because in the sun and in the right light, and when it's not covered in suntan lotion, it does, I think, look real. But I don't know, it cost me $50. And St. Thomas is where I got it. Oh, and also it's right beside in the Haven site cruise port, right beside the shop that sells this. This is Ocean Safari, and I looked on Google Maps and I couldn't quite see the shop. They don't have like a street view, but there is a jewelry shop that's just further along as you're walking away from the cruise ship, right beside that shop, and that's where I got this for $50. So there you go. If you're interested, St. Thomas is the place, Haven site. Anyways, moving on. So then Antigua, St. Lucia, Trinidad, Curacao, Aruba. Curacao and Aruba are beautiful places to go to. Curacao is pretty cool because it's got a swing bridge. So you can walk across it, but if they have a large ship coming in, then they block it off and they swing the bridge open wide. So instead of it being across, they, I guess they swing it this way, back towards the land. And then the ship goes through, and it's like so close. Like it's actually a pretty cool thing to see. And there's restaurants and bars along the side there, so you can sit there and you watch the bridge slowly opening, and then this like massive tanker comes through because it's a very busy a marine port. And then it closes again, and then you can continue to walk back and forth. In the meantime, if you are needing to get across whilst it's opening and closing, because I think it takes about 15 minutes. In the meantime, they do offer a water taxi service, and that's free. But anyways, pretty cool to see. That's in Curacao. And then Aruba, of course, has beautiful beaches. And then you head off to Colombia, as well as Panama, and then up to Costa Rica, Belize, and then into Mexico. So it's a pretty cool itinerary. And one of my colleagues has actually taken out group space. So I'll put his contact info in the description below if you're interested in getting more information. But I compared his prices to what the posted online rates are. And because he's got group rates right now, the prices are actually a little bit better than what you would see online. So starting around 3,800 American per person based on double occupancy for a cabin. And that, like, kind of like the same, that's for a whole month by comparison to staying, for example, at Secrets Mirabel for just over 2 weeks. So, and this way you're seeing pretty much all of the Caribbean. So I think it's a cool itinerary, and it's a nice way for them. So the whole idea is Pan Am was the main airline to pioneer flying into the Caribbean and opening up the routes and accessibility, and some of these smaller ports that were very difficult to get to. They became more popular as people could get to them. That said, I have taken little jumper planes, where it's like the seating configuration is like 1 and 1, or maybe 2 and 1. So 2 seats on one side and 1 seat on the other, like tiny, tiny little planes, many of them props. And taking these, I did that once from Nassau to Freeport, so over to Grand Bahama Island. And I've done it from Aruba to Saint Martin, and also Saint Martin to Curacao. Did we do? I don't know if we did Aruba and Curacao in the same trip as well, or not the same trip, a different trip. But if we did boom boom to those places, but seeing you're literally, it's like you're being on a tour. like if you've ever looked at the helicopters flying by when you're staying at your resort and thought, wow, like that must be an amazing view of the island and the ocean down below, and seeing, the sailboats and cruise ships and yachts, luxury yachts and stuff like that, from the air, bird's eye view. If you've ever thought that would be an interesting thing to do, then book a trip where you're doing 2 islands, because these planes, I mean, they're not going that high because they're small, and because the distance is not that great. So what you can see in them is just, it's striking. It's unbelievable. So yeah. Oh, which brings me to my next question. Okay, so we're done with that. And now I go back to random topic, because we love our random topics. Okay, so this is something that struck me the other day, actually this morning when I was looking at that Pan Am cruise. So pretty much everybody, Tammy, I don't think you're afraid of flying, if you're still watching. But I'm curious about you guys. Like pretty much, it's ironic because in the travel industry, I would say, without any smidge of exaggeration, probably 80 to 85% of travel agents are terrified of flying. Not that they dislike it, the whole like, let's get you into a sardine can and sit you there for 5 hours while you reach for your destination. But it's just the whole like being in the air and the whole takeoff and touchdown. Not afraid. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I've never seen you flinch at all. So yeah, okay, good to know. Good to know. And it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I quite enjoy flying. I mean, it's faster than driving, or faster than flying partway and then taking a boat. But yeah, interestingly enough that so many travel agents are afraid of flying, and and they're like, woohoo, hitting the cocktails before they get on the plane, or Xanax or whatever. So I'm curious, for those of you watching, Jane, Angelo, Louise, Christine, if you're watching, Elizabeth, if you're watching on the replay, Lindsay, are you guys afraid of flying? Thumbs up if you enjoy flying, and thumbs down if you really don't like it. And that's whether you just don't like it, or that you, okay, maybe not afraid to fly, but not comfortable. We'll say this. Thumbs down if you're not comfortable flying. Thumbs up if you enjoy it or it doesn't faze you at all. I'm curious what you guys are saying to that one. Because I think there's quite a few people that have at least a little bit of reluctance or hesitance about flying. Oftentimes, it's just takeoff and landing that bothers people. And pro tip, if you are sitting beside somebody who is a nervous flyer, and in particular, if they say, it's takeoff or landing that bothers them, when it comes time to take off or land, and if they don't have their own coping methods, like some people, they put their earphones in and they've got their music that they need to listen to. A friend of mine, he hated flying, and he would like put his headphones on and he was in the zone. And we were very good friends, and we had so much to talk about. And so we sit down, and he's like, oh, I need to sit in this seat or that seat or whatever. And I totally forgot. And so I was like, we just got on the plane and sat down, and he's like, and then he was like, okay, just so you know, I'm going to need to put my headphones on. I'm not being rude. It's just, that's my only way I can get through the whole takeoff thing. Well, we started talking, and I just kept peppering him with questions about something. And he was like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And well, but what are we going to do when we get to San Diego? Well, we'll probably have this meeting, and then we should do that. And I said, well, what do you like? Are we going to go for dinner somewhere? Oh, yeah. And we were in the air, and he was totally fine. So the art of distraction is very powerful. So if you have somebody who's freaking out a little bit, get them onto a topic, try to find a topic that they're engaged in and just get them talking, because while they're talking, they're thinking about their answer and they're recalling, like, well, what was our plan? Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. And like, okay, well, did you already book yeah, I booked the car. Okay, well, you got to let me, like, how much was it? Because I need to pay my portion. Blah, 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 blah. It does help. I promise you, it does help. Louise is saying, not afraid of flying when I'm back on the ground. Fair enough. Yeah, no problem there. And Christine's saying she enjoys flying. Yeah, I mean, like, I've never had an incident. There was once when we were actually flying into San Diego, we couldn't get a direct nonstop flight from Vancouver. We had to fly via LA. Sorry, it was either LA or San Francisco, I don't recall. But where there's two side-by-side runways. Angelo, Christine, Elizabeth, if you're watching, I know you guys fly through the US all the time. So, but yeah, there's one airport where there's literally like two runways side by side. So it's not uncommon for you to be landing on this one and another plane to be landing on that one. And I mean, they're comfortably far apart, but it's just kind of like odd, especially for somebody who comes from a city where the airport's significantly smaller. We came in and there were crosswinds. And so I've never flown a plane. I've never driven a boat, which I don't know. Do you say driven? I don't know. Steered a boat. I've driven a car. I know if you're driving a car and you want to go down the road, you're driving like that. Our plane coming in, because of the crosswind, I guess it was coming this way. Our plane was coming in like this. So this is my deck of cards. Okay. So instead of coming in straight to the runway, it was coming in like this, but flying straight, but like that. Came in, it landed on these two wheels. And we went like halfway down the flippin' runway before it straightened out. And then we proceeded to land. I mean, it was, I want to say epic, but also scary as hell. So my friend, who is scared of flying to begin with, and we get off the plane and we like beeline it to the bar. And we only had about 20 minutes before our next flight or something, but we were just like, yeah, wine, gone. So that was kind of freaky. And also there was once when flying from Vancouver, we had an aborted takeoff. So when the planes are coming down the runway, speeding down the runway in order to take off, they reach a point where they're going at such a pace that it's a make or break. And at that point, well, once they reach that point, they're locked in to whatever they've decided. And there was a light came on in the cabin, a hazard light or whatever, and said something needed to be checked. And so the pilots thought, well, let's be safe about this. So, here we are, we're speeding up. And then all of a sudden they slam on the brakes and we're like, well, there was some words and people were kind of freaked out. And, in the end it was fine. And they came on very quickly and said, we've had this alert that came on and, out of an abundance of caution. Hate that phrase since COVID. But anyways, to do the right thing, we went back to the terminal and we all got off did we get off the plane? No, we sat on the plane for about an hour. Total pain in the butt. And then they came on and they said, no, the mechanics have checked it, they've cleared it, and we're good to go. So that's fine. And, and I of course I'm posting on Facebook and whatever. And I'm like, an aborted takeoff is better than a failed landing, which I think we can all agree on. So I think this, yeah, Christine said she enjoys flying. Angelo said, okay with flying as long as the drinks are flowing. Wow. I mean, that's vacation mode, right? Yeah, lots of people enjoyed that comment. Yeah. I can neither confirm nor deny that I enjoy a beverage on my flights as well. Yeah, good times, good times. All right, well, that's all I have for you this week. Thanks so much for tuning in, and yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday. Angelo, I need to message you and confirm. You did mention that you would be willing to go live and, or at least get some footage, and then we can showcase the resorts that you're at hitting Puerto Vallarta. So that's exciting. It's always interesting to see what the resorts look like, especially after the big storm that they had, or the hurricane that was just off the coast. So I'm curious to see, what the resort and what the beaches look like after that, although I'm sure it's totally fine by now. Yeah, so thanks for all your comments and all your chats. It's always fun to hear your thoughts on travel and stuff like that, especially the whole flying thing. I don't know why it hasn't occurred to me to bring that up before, because it is such can be a rather touchy subject for some people, but interesting. I'm glad to hear that you guys, for the most part, are all good with flying. So excellent news. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. Have a fabulous weekend. And what are we up to now? Next Friday. Do you say next Friday or do you say Friday week? My husband's English. So to me, this Friday is this week. Next Friday, I would not say next Friday is like in 2 days from now. I would say next Friday is the 31st, or as they say in England, Friday week. John, if you're watching, Friday week, I think that's a fairly common phrase. Friday week means a week from Friday kind of thing. But let me know, is that a North American thing? Do we say, if you say next week and it's for example, Sunday or Monday, and you say, I'm going to come up and visit you on next Wednesday, is that like in 2 days time? Or if I say, you guys want to go for lunch? Let's go for lunch next Friday. Is that the next Friday, which would be in 2 days time? Or when you say next week, is that like a week and a half from now? I'm curious. Louise Singham once had such bad turbulence, plane dropped when shot, all the drinks went flying. Oh no, thought the plane was crashing. That could be very scary. I've been in bad turbulence where it's bumping a lot, but I've never had a drop like that. So, but nonetheless, I always keep my seatbelt on, because better safe than sorry. All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And we will see you next Wednesday. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the conversation. And we'll see you next week. Bye for now.